Hi, everybody. I'm here on a Monday, 1 p.m. Pacific time with Monica. As usual, we wanted to today kind of talk about what is the healthy communication. How can we open ourselves up to have that interaction in a way that is, beneficial for both sides? So,
Mhm.
um, what do you think, Monica? What would be the first key to have that connection with another person?
Yeah. So again, my population tends to struggle with a lot of burnout. So I always want to name some of their experience for the audience here today, in case anybody in the audience is also resonating. Um, but individuals with burnout sometimes have like a sense of low capacity or low mental, emotional space to connect with their partners through communication and even just sometimes physical emotional connection. They just feel a little bit disconnected from themselves, which may make them feel disconnected also in their relationship with their partner. So I always want to say, like, it's so important that if you are a partner of somebody who is feel like you think they may be struggling with burnout, it's so important that you reflect to them, hey, I'm not feeling that connection with you. And then for the person who is struggling with burnout, they might feel like, oh, I don't want to talk about this. I can't get into this discussion right now, right? Like they may be resistant or reluctant to have this conversation. And it's not necessarily because they don't care about what you have to say or they don't agree with what you're saying, but it's more just because of where they're at in their nervous system. They struggle with having the space to to have that kind of conversation. So what I will typically say is, starting the conversation even earlier than in that moment. So saying, hey, I really need to speak with you about something. Do you think you have some time or space or emotional space where we can connect and talk openly later today? Your partner may be like anxious and thinking, oh no, what do they want to talk about? Is it bad? Am I in trouble? Did I do something wrong? And so they might say, like, let's just have this conversation now, right? And they might rush that conversation. But I would encourage you in both partners of this relationship to really check in and say, no, I think I really want to make sure you have the space to have the conversation. It's okay if this takes time. It's not a bad conversation. I just want to make sure that you have the mental space for it, right? And so if we can sort of name our desire and put that ask out there for somebody who's really has to do a lot of work to come back up into their emotions or into their feelings, they might need that space and that warning. Okay, I have to be available to connect with my partner in an hour, in 2 hours, later tonight. I'm going to need to save some space. I can't use it all at work. I have to save some space to have this conversation with my partner later. So I usually will say that tip is important. It's just naming, hey, I really want to have a conversation with you. Um, and it's not bad. It's just about, our travel plans or whatever. If you can set the stage for when you want to have that conversation or what you might need from your partner in that conversation, it tends to go in a healthier, more effective direction.
I mean, it's true. It's when somebody says, "Oh, I want to have a conversation with you," we always go to that negative part of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I invite my clients to, when they want to have a conversation, say, kind of start by talking about themselves, not
Mhm.
about uh, the other person, and it
Mhm.
be very kind and maybe sometimes playful
Yeah.
in having that conversation, that asking that, and I say, oh, I want to talk about this thing about myself and see what you think, and then
Mhm.
we start with that, and then I know maybe it's not the right time right now, but maybe when you have like 15 minutes or 10 minutes that
Yeah.
we can have this conversation. So it's just the way that you kind of word that sentence at the beginning that
Yeah.
becomes more make it more interactive, or
Yeah.
makes it like a blockage that you cannot have
Right.
that.
Where your partner shuts down and goes, deer in the headlights. Uh-oh, what's this about? Right. But yeah, certainly naming and with clarity, like, I need to talk with you about, our weekend plans, or would you be open to talking about, this visit to see my mother, whatever, right? Like putting that ask out there with some clarity can certainly help your partner to know how much space and emotions and bandwidth they're needing to bring into that conversation.
Sorry, my internet is not doing well, so I'm just going to connect my phone with this. So,
Okay.
any other suggestions that you have, Monica?
Well, I would just say again, when you're naming your need, or when you have your ask out there, again, maybe sometimes it is a difficult conversation that you need to have with them, and you, again, I know you wanted to share some tips about how to do this too, but again, if you are really clear on, hey, this might be a tough conversation to have, you might even, again, like I don't know, break the conversation open a little bit earlier by saying like, hey, I really had something, some feelings that I wanted to talk to you about. I had, some hurt feelings about something that you said the other day. And, this shouldn't take a lot of time. I just want to share with you my experience, or I have, I'm going to need about an hour to really dive into this with you, or, but if you can name it up front, then again, your partner can say, okay, how interesting. And they might have some defensiveness that shows up. And you can say, no, this isn't a conversation where we need to be defensive. I want to share with you my experience, right? So again, you're taking back your power and your responsibility. This isn't a conversation to blame or shame. This is just me coming to you as a partner. And I know you love me and you have my best interest at heart. So we want to connect, right? Um, yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess on the other hand, when you're a receiver, and then I invite you to really open your eyes and open your ears and listen with that compassionate part of you,
Yeah.
and not that negative part that, oh, now she or he's going to say something negative about me. So
Yeah.
that's another way of listening versus just talking about what your needs or what has happened. So
Yeah.
that's the first time.
As a receiver, if you're noticing you're feeling defensive about your partner wanting to open up to you or share their vulnerable feelings with you, that's a really good time to reflect that in that moment, you're seeing your partner as a threat, right? If you are feeling defensive, it's because you are perceiving an attack, right? So in that moment, you really need to ask yourself, is my partner trying to attack me? Or is my partner lovingly and vulnerably coming to have a conversation with me, right? And that can sometimes help us to own our own stuff, our own stories,
Right, right.
and receive our partner more openly.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel that we go to that negative part of us because of those limiting beliefs that, oh,
Oh,
is she gonna or he gonna say something to hurt me?
yeah.
And am I safe here to stay and listen with openness?
Yep.
So, I mean, a lot has to do with our past experiences and how we have brought ourselves to this space of interacting from
Yes.
today, the moment, not from the past.
Yeah. How did
Right.
communication go for you in the past? How did vulnerability go for you in the past? That's going to be what tells your nervous system if your partner is a threat or not. But again, that's why I love what you're saying, Elle, is just like having to come back to the present moment and saying, is that true about what's happening right now with my partner? Or is that my past
Yes.
memory? Is that my past experience? Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it's a dance basically. I tell my clients that it's not never like this.
Mhm.
The conversation has to be circular. It has to
Yeah.
go in and out, and that's the way it works. If
Yeah.
it's just one sided, it's not gonna ever work.
No. That's right.
So thank you so much, Monica. This was amazing and very interesting how on our both side of what we do with our clients and similar stuff comes out.
Yeah. Oh, for
And
sure.
yeah, I wanted to invite people who are listening and who have some questions. I actually offer a complimentary 30-minute call, and I'm sure you do the same thing. And you're invited to call us, book a time with us, and ask these questions. And the incident that has happened in the past, we can help you go through it in a different way by just having that half an hour conversation with either one of us. So our contact information is on the description, so you can reach out to Monica, you can reach out to me if you have any questions that you want to post here. Be happy to talk to you and answer your questions. And thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much, Monica.
Yeah,
I'll
of
see you
course.
next week.
See you next time.